speeches for the class of 2025. Our first speaker today is Ashley Cara. Ashley will be introduced by Mama Paige.
Good morning. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to a young lady who truly embodies strength, grace, and heart. Ashley is a standout in every aspect of her life. Whether she's in the pool, where her determination and skill make her a formidable swimmer, or in the classroom, where she consistently puts forth her best efforts. Beyond her impressive achievements, one thing that sets Ashley apart is her character. She has an unwavering sense of what is right. Ashley is loyal, almost to a fault. And despite this, she stands firm in her convictions, even when it's not the easy path to take. With her infectious laugh and genuine smile, it's impossible not to be drawn to Ashley's positive energy. Her kindness shines through in everything she does. She likes to fly under the radar, always going out of her way to make others feel seen and valued. Whether helping someone with an assignment, giving a sweet hug to someone in need, lending a helping hand, or making senior speech goodie bags, she's the big-hearted kind of friend everyone needs in their life. I am grateful for her daily hugs, our gossip sessions, both good and bad, and for her beautiful presence in my life. Getting to know Ashley has been one of my greatest joys. Today, we are lucky to hear from someone whose strength and grace is matched only by the kindness that she carries. Please join me in welcoming Ashley Cara.
Hold on, guys. Okay. Good morning. Every Tuesday in advisory, we have True Confession Tuesday, where we go around the room and confess something. Most of the time, it's something small, like how late one of us went to bed last night, or how we didn't study for a test that day. I know it's a Thursday, but here's my confession of the week. I am a liar. In fact, I've been lying for years. Not maliciously, not with intent to deceive, but casually and frequently. Let me explain. How many times have you heard me say, I hate this person, or I hate this, I hate that? Probably more times than any of us can count. But here's the truth. I never meant it, not even once. These casual declarations of hate have been my go-to response for any and every minor inconvenience or annoyance. Someone cut me off on the way to school, I hate them. A person walking slowly in the halls, I hate this. Someone's being loud in this lounge while I'm trying to work, I hate them. But in reality, these were all lies. Small lies, seemingly insignificant lies, but lies nonetheless. And as I've come to realize, these lies have had an important impact on how I view the world and interact with the people around me. Maybe the person who cut me off was late to work. Maybe the person walking slowly was just enjoying a break from class. Maybe the person being loud in this lounge was just trying to have fun with their friends. Perspective is everything. And taking the extra minute to take a breath and change mine can make all the difference. Let's be honest, I'm not exactly known for my patience. It's no secret. I probably snapped at many of you or complained about a certain person or situation in front of you. Let me give you a couple of examples. Junior year class officer meetings with James, Aiden, Mark, and me. Trying to plan anything that year was a struggle for everyone involved, and our meetings often ended with me getting mad at something Mark was saying or doing. I remember telling him several times that I couldn't stand him and that I hated him. His response was always, no you don't. As much as I don't want to admit it, he was right. Now is this interaction something I'm proud of? No, not at all. Did I mean it when I told Mark I hated him? No, not at all. Another example is way back in first grade. Every week, my teacher would pick a student of the week who demonstrated great behavior. For some reason, Georgia and I both wanted to be the very first person in our class to get the award. But in the end, there could only be one student of the week, which happened to be me. But according to Georgia, I only got it because I cried for hours on the first day of school. This is also entirely possible. After that week, we hated each other for a little while. It could have been days or weeks, and honestly, I don't even remember. But now we've moved past our rivalry, and I'm proud to call her one of my closest friends. From first grade to graduating in 2 months, she's been by my side, and I'm so thankful we got over our hate for each other. These are just a few examples of many, and trust me, there are many. But it's important to know that I never hated anyone or anything in these situations. Was I annoyed, frustrated, and impatient? Yes. But hate? It's a strong word that I was carelessly throwing around. I realize the importance of the words we choose. When we casually throw around the word hate, we're not just expressing a momentary frustration, we're shaping our perception of the world and the people around us. But think about it. How many times have you said you hated something only to realize later that it wasn't so bad after all? How many people have you claimed to hate only to end up becoming friends with them later? Our words have power. They shape our reality. When we constantly speak in terms of hate, we're training our brains to see the world through a negative lens. As graduation draws closer, and my time at Collegiate only has a few weeks left, all those moments of annoyance and impatience, all the casual declarations of hate, seem so insignificant. I've come to understand that the small irritations and moments of frustration were just that, small and fleeting. What will last are the memories, the connections, the friendships, and the growth. And while thinking about high school as a whole, I can't help but reflect on the moments I wish I handled differently. I regret snapping at people or pushing them away because I was annoyed. I regret telling Mark I hated him. I regret not taking a little longer to enjoy my walks to class. But my biggest regret of all would be spending so much time focused on how other people's actions were affecting me. I spent so much time caring about what other people were or weren't doing and how I didn't like it instead of just letting it go. I'm not the same person I was freshman year. I've grown, I've changed, and most importantly, I've let go. I've let go of my fears about what other people would think. I've let go of relationships that just don't work anymore. I started putting time and energy into people and pursuits that make me feel valued and whole. Growing up is inevitable. It's inescapable. And letting grow as we grow up is necessary. I started this speech by admitting I'm a liar. In the casual, thoughtless moments when I declare I hate someone or something. But a liar is someone who knowingly says something other than the truth with an intent to deceive, which is not me. I am, however, easily annoyed and hasty. The little phrases like I hate them were more than just words thrown in the air. They are a reflection of my own impatience, my own quick judgment, and my inability to take a breath and slow down. Every hate was a shortcut, an easy way out of dealing with my own frustration and annoyance. Chances are that when I snapped at someone, there are probably so many things going on in my life that I was taking it out on others. Maybe I was stressed about school, or maybe I was going through a rough time at practice, or maybe I just didn't get enough sleep or was hungry. But as I look back, I've come to appreciate it all. The ups and the downs, the joy and frustration, they've all played a part in shaping who I am today. This realization isn't about making grand promises for the future or changing who I am overnight. It's simply about acknowledging the truth and, most importantly, learning to forgive. Forgive others when they cut me off on the way to school or when they say something annoying, because in all honesty, I've cut someone off on the way to school and said annoying things before too. But most importantly, forgive myself when I'm a little too impatient or snappy. It's easy to get caught up in the moments when I say something I don't mean and replay them over and over in my head. But learning to forgive is crucial, since forgiveness goes hand in hand with letting go and growing up. Thank you.
Our second speaker today is Josh Rairick. Josh will be introduced by his sisters, Hannah and Lydia.
Good morning. There. I can't believe you're graduating. It feels like just yesterday that our older brother Noah graduated from Collegiate. It will be strange without you driving us to school and blasting rap music at 7:30 in the morning. Also, when you would always take a shower right when we're supposed to leave, then come walking down the stairs covered in cologne. I will miss all of your funny and sarcastic jokes. I hope college goes well, and please keep us both updated on everything. I'm so proud of you and all of your accomplishments, and I love you so much.
Good morning. Joshua, my older brother and soon-to-be future Messi. Whether it's you trying so hard to act nonchalant or scoring so many goals on the soccer field, I have enjoyed having you as my older brother. I hope college treats you well, and we are so proud of you because you have worked so hard to push through problems with soccer in school. To wrap up this intro, I just want to say, Josh, you are a very talented, funny, and supportive brother. We all love you and will miss having you around the house and at Collegiate. Join me in welcoming Josh Rairick.
Those are the nicest things they've ever said to me. All right. Good morning. Since senior year started, I've been hoping something crazy would happen in my life so I could have something to write my senior speech about. I was hoping for something like encountering a shark and fighting it off, maybe preventing a robbery from happening, or even saving a cat from a burning building. But shockingly, none of those things happened. So what now, you may ask? Instead of sulking over what didn't happen, like the shark attack, I've decided to give my 2 cents on being understanding and valuing time before it's gone. I found myself wishing I could both jump forward in time and return to the past. Now, this would be very difficult and risky because I wouldn't want to cross paths with my past or future self and disrupt the time continuum. But let's say I had that part all worked out. Maybe I had a disguise like a mustache and some glasses. I could travel back to the simple life of being a little kid, going outside to pee on a tree in my backyard when the bathroom was occupied, convincing my older sister that a kid from our church who she had a major crush on also had a crush on her. Life was easy and simple. The biggest issue I ever had was when I was strolling around a park near my house, carefully examining all the interesting caterpillars that were relaxing on some trees, when suddenly I was bumped into by another 7-year-old like myself, who then attempted to fight me with some odd form of kung fu. However, I was luckily rescued by parental intervention. I didn't know at the time I would be looking back at almost 11 years later and wishing I could be living in those exact moments again. Now, looking into more recent years, I've noticed myself wishing I could fast forward a little bit. I wish I could skip past a day to get to the next, or even skip through Monday through Friday just to get to the weekend. I wish I could fast forward into an imaginary life after college with a 7-figure job, a happy family, 2 dogs, and no taxes. But the thing is, I don't have a time machine, glasses, a fake mustache, or a way to skip through life. And maybe that's a good thing, because if I spend all my time looking backward or forward, I'll miss out on what's important now. The everyday moments, the small laughs with family, and the once in a while successful late night runs to Taco Bell with friends. These moments may seem insignificant now, but will become memories we wish we could relive. But being present also means being understanding with ourselves and with others. We all have our struggles, our moments of stress, and our bad days. Instead of rushing through life or holding on to things that don't matter, maybe we should focus on being patient, giving people grace, and realizing that time spent holding grudges is wasted time. I must confess, I don't always do my best at giving grace, especially to my sisters on our car ride to school in the morning. Sometimes Hannah is just chewing her breakfast extremely loudly, or Lydia just decides to leave multiple pairs of socks in the back seat, which she uses for her hair. I'm not sure I fully understand that one, but I should be a little more gracious and understanding because, after all, they are just trying to live their lives the same as me, even though they do their living a little noisier than mine. Probably worse than in the morning is when I get home from school and my mom asks me her daily row of questions when I'm just a hungry hippo, meandering into the house, looking for a quick morsel of food to demolish. I most definitely need to be more gracious in those moments. Sorry about all the sass I've given you, Mom. Now, my dad has received countless sarcastic responses for one request in particular. Every night, around 10 o'clock, I either get a knock on my door or a paragraph on my phone, and the talk or message generally goes like this. Josh, you need to go to sleep. You have a busy week ahead of you, and you need rest. It is important to get 8 to 10 hours. Please go to bed soon. Love you. This annoys me sometimes because I'm almost 18, so I must know every little piece of information on the planet and know what's best for myself. But that's not actually true. Dad, I would just like to say you're right. Which you knew already, but I accept defeat. To tell the truth, I will miss my sisters annoying me, calling me ugly and saying I stink. I will miss my mom cross-examining me when I walk in the door. I will miss my dad telling me to go to sleep every night. I will miss taking my sisters to school in the morning. It will soon be Hannah driving Lydia to school. I hope for your safety, Lydia, and the safety of all the curbs in Louisville. Just keep your eyes on the road, Hannah. I will miss a lot of things that I didn't realize I would miss until it is almost too late, as I will soon move on to another stage of my life. So while I never got my heroic saving a kitten from a burning house story, I've learned that the real challenge is simply being present. Instead of constantly looking back or waiting for what's next, I want to focus on where I am now. Because one day, we'll all wish we could relive these moments. Stories are written every day. Stories are written every day. You just have to realize you're living one as it's being written. If you spend your time chasing something that isn't there, like something in the past you can't change or a future that hasn't happened yet, you risk leaving blank pages where the best parts should be. A complete story isn't made by waiting for the big moment, the perfect ending, or the dramatic twist. It's made by being present for the little moments, the everyday scenes that don't feel like much until they're memories. So live fully in the chapter you're in and trust that the story will turn out just right. Thank you.
Our third speaker today is Jordan Gray. Jordan will be introduced by her grandmother, Janet Finger.
Hello. Who is Jordan Gray? She is a graduating senior who loves to learn new ideas and new things. She is a future young leader of the 21st century, and she's the best backseat passenger to have introducing me to her new ideas, vocabulary, new phrases in the second and third grade. The best description to describe Jordan is A, innovative. As a kindergartner, she wrote a 3-page plan for a cafe, restaurant, then she added a hotel. She had a menu with meals, appetizers, drinks, and cost. She made cookies. Then she moved on to spiced nuts to sell. She gave a few jars to her uncle, and he sold them at his job. She decided later on that she needed printed flyers for the neighborhood. I asked, "Who's going to pass these out, Jordan?" Her response, "Daddy." She moved on to making bracelets, earrings, and then giving them to her friends. And other people heard about it, so she started selling them. B, she's conscientious. She is always focused and very focused learner. She did her homework without being cajoled or bribed. And she just could not understand why anyone wouldn't even bother. She's tenacious. When the varsity swim team opened up a spot for 5th graders, she told me, she said, "I'm going to the office to put my name on that list." I said, "Jordan, you better run that by your parents." I said, "They may have other ideas." Silence. I said, "Jordan, did you hear me?" "I'm doing it." And she stayed on the team, do or die. Then she got jobs at the Y and the country club recommended by her coach, where she taught young kids and was a lifeguard. She willed herself to follow through even when she had unruly kids and pushy parents. D, she's caring, very caring. She always brought me flowers for holidays, birthdays, makes me desserts, and she remembers her friends just as well, buying them gifts for her birthday. So who is she? She's the best granddaughter I know.
Got me a little teared up there. Okay. Good morning. Embarrassment is a 12-letter word that I can carry the weight of 40 tons. It's a queasy feeling that often keeps me up at night, replaying even the most minor mistakes and interactions. Embarrassment is a feeling I know too well. It's a fear of what others think of me that keeps me up. My whole life, I've been told that confidence is key and to hold my shoulders high. Although I try my best to follow these directions, I still find myself feeling insecure when I'm in spaces where I'm uncomfortable. When I was younger, I would intentionally avoid doing anything that might make me feel embarrassed, make me look bad, or feel incompetent. I often spoke in a quiet tone, and I tried to make myself as small as possible with my body language. And then I became the ultimate people pleaser. But now, at this age, I'm disappointed that I wasted so many years trying to dim my own light. I'm disappointed that I allowed others' opinions of me to consume me to the point that I was frozen in anxiety. I need to realize that embarrassment was a part of life, and without it, there was no room to grow. So today, I'm deciding to face that embarrassment head on. So I present to you all some of Jordan Gray's most embarrassing moments, at least the ones I'm willing to share. Starting off strong at number 3, it was my 7th or 8th grade year during the peak of COVID, where the online classes were abundant and equally boring. One online class that stuck out among the rest was PE, where we students were tasked to join Zoom meetings. We were supposed to be ready, cameras on, to do online workouts. I hated these classes, because when Mr. Wozniak and Mr. Coy would ask us to turn on our cameras, we could all see each other. Now, this wouldn't be that big of a deal if I wasn't a huge goody two-shoes who always joined my Zoom classes on time, forcing me to be one of the students that was constantly seen on the main panel. I remember this specific class like it was yesterday, when we were instructed to do one of our classic PE Tabatas, where wall sits were a key component. Me being the teacher's pet that I am, I of course did the workout fully instead of just sitting down and turning my camera off like everyone else. However, this determination came to bite me when I had gone to do my wall sit on my sliding closet door. I heard some rumbling, and the door fell off the hinge and I stumbled to the floor. Again, this wouldn't be that big of a deal if and only if I wasn't one of the students on the main panel of the meeting. One of the students that everyone sees throughout the entire class. To this day, it is beyond me of why I would try to do wall sits on a closet sliding door that is older and more faulty than me. And honestly, I have no idea if anyone else remembers it or even if they were paying attention. However, I remember it and it still keeps me up at night. Coming in at number 2, another quite humbling moment for me during COVID happened one sunny afternoon. I was biking around my neighborhood, the sun was out, the wind was in my hair, I had music blasting in my headphones. Life was good. Until I biked, without a helmet, I might add, right into a tree, hitting my head right into the trunk. I don't really remember if I fell over or not after my face broke off some of the tree bark. But I do remember picking up my bike and biking back home quickly because two bystanders had seen me hit the tree at full speed and both laughed at me. I came home to my parents, who tried to console my injury. I remember distinctly my mother reassuring me that the scar on my forehead wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't compete with the already present scar from a kindergarten accident. However, after me believing her, I turned my head to the side to get off the couch when my mom had shouted a loud expletive similar to dang, gasping at the shock of how large a bump grew on my head. To top it off, my parents called me a beluga whale for weeks. And finally, one of the most truly and embarrassing and humbling experiences in my life, of course, just had to happen right before freshman year of high school. August, Camp Piamingo, freshman tree. Let's just say I wish I stayed home that day. At the freshman retreat, our grade was split up by advisories to complete a team bonding task where we all had to lift each other over a tall wall. However, the only tool we could use to help each other was teamwork. When the camp counselors asked us to volunteer to be the first people to go up the wall, no one budged. Then after a little while of awkward silence, some of my classmates went over the wall and were waiting at the top to aid the rest of us. Once again, the camp counselors asked who would like to volunteer. Once again, it was quiet, or well, it should have been, but instead, me being me, I volunteered to participate. The point of the exercise was to have someone help push you over at the wall at the bottom, while some people help pull you over at the top. I got pretty far up the wall before my shirt got caught on a splinter in the wood, along with any undergarments I was wearing with it. I didn't even realize what was happening until Azaria had said that my shirt was slipping and everyone dropped me to the ground immediately. Not my best moment at all. I had to humbly walk back to a tree stump to sit down in my now dust-covered shorts, and not even 2 hours later, I was humbled once again when me and Georgia were walking to the pool and we both somehow fell face down right on the concrete. Moral of the story, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm extremely clumsy. I fall up the stairs as opposed to down. So I've had my share of embarrassing moments. However, no matter how awful these experiences felt in the moment, it is nice to be able to laugh at them now. Being able to laugh shows my true growth and appreciation of myself. Instead of wallowing in how my determination to be the perfect student had crossed me in more ways than one, I could pat myself on the back for continuously showing up and being the student ready to participate. Instead of wallowing in my clumsiness after hitting a tree, I could be grateful that this accident was during the summer and I never had to showcase my huge 9.5 head at the LCS hallways. At the end of the day, I believe that I am my biggest critic because in reality, no one is thinking about embarrassing moments that I committed years ago. No one cares about the mistakes that I made years ago, and no one cares if I think I've made a fool of myself, because I know when I show up in a room, it is an embarrassment that people see. It's a strong-willed, determined young woman who is proud of who she is no matter how many times she's embarrassed herself. As I reflect on the importance of embracing my flaws and growing from my experiences, I can't help but feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the incredible people who have supported and shaped me along the way. The love and wisdom they've shared with me has been the foundation for much of strength and growth. So before I return to my seat, I must acknowledge a few people that I'm so lucky to share my blood with. Okay. I'm grateful for my fearless grandmother, who has walked with grace her whole life, who's allowed me the space to be creative and provides me advice. I thank her for seeming to be the only person that understands me and the only one who shares the same passions as me. I truly cherish the time we spend together, even if it is through her micromanaging or talking through an entire moving. And exposing me to different places on our trips and together and so much more. Although she is not one to admit, she will miss me when I'm not just 10 minutes away anymore. But I am not afraid to say that I would definitely miss her. To my father for always making me laugh, giving good hugs, reaching things on the tall shelf, and providing for me far more than financially. It won't be the same when we won't be in the same city anymore to celebrate our birthdays together, eat red velvet cake, and when you greet me in the morning loudly. Nor when I ramble on about my day when you're watching football and not hearing a thing that I say. To my uncle for always checking up on me, giving me a good laugh, and the advice that I need. I cherish our weekend brunches and the holidays we spend together. I'm so grateful that you're in my life. To my great aunt who laughs at all my jokes, buys me clothes, and slips me money on every birthday, who I used to watch hours of Bring It and various BET shows with. And finally, last but not least, to my mother. I cannot thank you enough for everything. From being the best collegiate swim mom, my business accountant, my therapist, biggest supporter, and biggest hater. Although we often disagree at the end of the day, it's always you that I can count on. I'm glad that you're in my life and the big lupus didn't take you away from me. My God. I'm so thankful to call you my mother. Life brings its shares of challenges and embarrassment, and it's definitely no fun, but we've all been there and it's temporary. I choose to laugh it off and hope you all are encouraged to do that too. Thank you.
Can we get another round of applause for today's speaker?